Welcome back to the Brain Food blog. I'm Dr. Drew Ramsey. I'm an assistant clinical professor of psychiatry at Columbia University, and I'm founder of the Brain Food Clinic and host of this blog where we talk about what's going on in terms of nutritional psychiatry, but also in terms of clinical practice and mental health. I've been trying to make a blog for, I don't know, a couple of months about transitioning between what we were doing, many of us practicing in person, or I was practicing a mix of about maybe 25% telepsychiatry and the rest in person, into 14 months for me of complete telepsychiatry. And then a lot of changes in the midst of that. For example, in my own personal therapy, my older Upper West Side lovely psychoanalyst, didn't think he was going to do this video therapy thing. Well, now a year later, he's not going to go back into the office at all. And so this has really changed our field, obviously. But what I've been wanting to talk about, at least for us as clinicians, is that transition. I've made lots of videos about, before I went back in to see my first patient in person, how in some ways nervous I was and excited. And then it sort of hit me as I was seeing my patients in person back in New York that uh, we've all been doing this for a long time. It felt very normal and very natural. There were a few things that I've noted and that I'm trying to figure out, and there's a word that's been helping me that I wanted to share. What struck me is maybe we're asking the wrong question, or at least I was asking the wrong question, which is around, in some ways, what's better? Is it better to see patients by video? It's more convenient or more accessible? Or is it worse? Gosh, this screen gets really annoying to talk to forever. And there's something about being with people that feels better for a lot of patients, but not for some. And I realize what's missing from the conversation, which is surprising because it's one of my favorite words to talk about in supervision and as I think about treatment, which is the frame. And that as we shift frames, which now, if we're in a mixed model, which some of us are, where we'll see some people by video and some people in person, it really adds a new element. A few of the patients I saw in person were visibly more anxious to see me. And there is a disruption because so many of you have been working really hard to create good frames in a digital space. And I think doing so, I think a lot of us noticed as we got better at seeing patients, and we got used to this as it was in some ways forced on us. We were forced to get good at it, that something really shifted and treatments got deeper and better, at least than we were at the beginning of the pandemic. So as you're thinking about your own work and as you're thinking about your transitions, I think I just ask one, keep taking care of your mental health. Clinicians are burned out, like every other healthcare provider out there. Think about your frame and that some of these transitions, at least for me, they haven't been as simple as I thought. I was thinking, getting back in person was going to be better. And then I realized that it disrupted some treatments. And some treatments were doing really well. And for whatever reason, geographic changes, they weren't going to easily go back to in person. I'm curious your thoughts and how the concept of frame is affecting you and your clinical work as you transition back into seeing people in person or have decided to stay all digital. Let's keep the conversation going. Thanks so much for your time and attention, and mostly take good care of your mental health and keep taking good care of everybody else's mental health. Thanks. I'm Dr. Drew Ramsey. I'll see you next time.